everyone. Today we will study the utility section. Utility sector is derived from the utility. So utility concept is very important for economic research area. The basic foundation every processing of economic theory. So it derived from the utility. It is, the definition is, utility sectors consist of companies that provide electricity, and natural gas, water, sewage, and other services to home and businesses. It means industrial categories consisting of companies provide basic everyday amenities, like something like the electricity, natural gas, and water, sewage, something like that. So public utility are privately owned companies are regulated by public utility commissions that operate at a variety of jurisdictional level, usually at the state level. So utility sectors offers targeted opportunity into the stocks of companies in specific segments of the economics. It means if you want to earn money by stocks, and this is for another income from the stock market. So later I will talk to you. This you are buying and selling, and then you get some money from them. Also, if you keep your stocks, and then the company gives to you dividends every year, one time, almost sometimes one two times. So these utility sectors have some pros and cons, because this is a basic state level opportunities. So utility sectors investing offers targeted opportunity into the stocks of companies in specific segments of the economy. The utility sector includes companies such as I said, electric, gas, water utility, or those that operate as producers or distributors of power. These things, for example, Edison, PW, and water company, or something like that. So this is for 2 years ago. Data shows that's July 2022. The sector has a market capitalization of over $1.58 trillion. $1.58 trillion, huge. Although utility are private, for-profit companies, they are part of the public service infrastructure and are heavily regulated. It means 2 years ago, the sector's capital is over $1.58 trillion. Tremendous. It means very big part of the economy. So this includes utility in their portfolios, hold them as a long-term investment. If you want to make money from the stock invest, you choose the utility. especially utility sectors. So especially if you decide invest utility sectors, first thing is long-term investment. Okay. So commonly we use them to utility and the utility sector. There are pros and cons for investors. Generated income through the dividend. So let me have something added section, market capitalization. As I said, so 2022 in the United States, utility sectors about over the $1.58 trillion. What's the meaning, the $1.58 trillion of the market capitalization? As I showed the definition in here, the total dollar market value of a company's outstanding shares of stocks. It means there are many companies in the United States utility sectors. It means it's Edison, PWSP, railroad company, lots of the water company, or something electronic company. They outstanding share of stock volume is $1.58 trillion. So commonly we refer to as a market cap. Market cap. Yeah, so it's a shadow there. Market cap. Market cap means, let me show you this here, market cap. Market capitalization means, so commonly companies outstanding shares of stocks, total. That's the utility, a market capitalization. And also I said this, how can they get the incomes or generate the income through the dividend? So let me show you the dividends. Where is it? Dividend in here. So dividend definition in there. The distribution of corporate profits to qualified shareholders as determined by the company's board of directors. Most companies, if they get the stock markets in New York, and then there are many shareholders, and the shareholder stock is every day or every time I can buy, sell. So the shareholders keep some period. This is a regulation. So if you want to buy some stocks and then you want to get some profit from the stocks, the company board of directors decide to dividend small money each stock. Sometimes they don't have any dividend. Sometimes they invest another investment. It means, we are very good situation and very good market status. So the board of members decide to another factory, build the factories, or another produce a line to invest new products, something like that. So the board of company's board of directors decide for another investment, and then all stockholders agree the investment instead of dividend. So every time dividend or not is decided from the company's board of directors. So the distribution of corporate profit is qualified shareholders. So some designated experienced holding stockholders get the dividend. Okay, This is division. So I said it's a division. Okay, division is the distribution of corporate earning to eligible shareholders. Also, dividend payments and amounts are determined by a company's board of directors. The dividend yield is the divided dividend per share, 25 cents, 5 cents per share, something, and expressed as a percentage of the company's share price. It means is some stock company later if we have a chance. I'll give you the detail in the business part, but this is economic class. So just I say this share price, company's share price means is there are some shared one share, and then we share the profit or share the share of the price. If representative example is the coin. The coin is very huge money, so I cannot get the one stock. At that time, many investors share the price. Is the coin market example. So also many companies do not pay dividends and instead retain earning to be invested into the company. It means is we did not pay the dividend and they decide to invest another chance for get the money profit. Also the utility sectors include the stock of companies such as I said, electric, gas, and water utility. And some investors commonly buy utility as long-term holdings. If you want to get some profit from the stock market about the utility sectors, you need for long-term investment. Okay, long-term holding is very important thing. Also, the utility sectors is often used as an investment during economic downturns. So if you have some very difficult time for invest in stock market, did you know the portfolio is a very important section is this very safety portfolio method. The one of them is to utility sectors, very safety study. Also, the challenges for the sector includes regulatory oversight and costly infrastructure updating and maintenance. So, mostly utility sectors is a very huge investment and company. That's why if you want that, you keep the long-term holding and also very safety investment policy or portfolio. Also nowadays new trend is clean energy. Did you heard that? So clean energy initiatives have some analysis forecasting strong growth of the utility industry in 2020s. So now the clean energy is a hot issue. So now some companies make some components and then it's cheap and some any kind of country. If you want to export some products to other country, how can you make the products? By clean energy or not? This is big issues, 2035 or something like that. So anyway, if you have some chance to invest stock market, you think about this clean energy part is very strong growth of utility sectors. Okay, so usually include large companies, offers multiple services such as water, gas, something. So some utilities rely on clean energy and renewable energy. Renewable includes, for example, the pollution and the natural gas, something like that. It's not stored there naturally in the earth. So this is for another utility sector investment methodology. So utility typically offers investors stable and consistent dividend. Say again, if you try to utility sectors, typically offers the investors stable, very stable investment plan, and also consistent dividend. Mostly they pay to dividend every year. The coupled with less price volatility relative to the overall equity markets. What's the meaning of volatility? I showed you the volatility. Definition is that what is the volatility? Volatility is a statistical measure of the dispersion of the returns for the given security or market index. In most cases, the higher the volatility, the riskier the security. This is volatility. High risky, high return. Volatility is often measured from either the standard deviation or barriers between returns from the same security or market index. Standard deviation means something like that. Their distribution and something like that. Did you see these pictures last time? This is standard distribution example. So if now is November is a president's door, and then you see that Donald Trump and Biden and 30%, 32%, something like that, and these statistics 95.5% plus minus 3%, or something like that. It means this is minus 3 area. This is plus 3 area. Totally is 100%. It means its index is 1. And then 90.55 means including here. In here. And the left side minus 3%, right side plus 3% is not includes that. It is forecasting exactly comprehensive or understand. If you walking in the street and meet someone and ask him what is your support or stand your president of this year, and then he said, okay, I stand Trump, I stand Biden. I support Biden is 30%, 43%. If I meet somebody, he said, I support Donald Trump, and this is for 32%, I met him. So this story can correct or not correct. This 93.5 means 98.5 to 92.5%. This orange is here. This area. This is incorrect. How much percent? This side. this percentage is correct answer. So this is for standard deviation, relay the volatility. So anyway, in the market is very flexible, fluctuation. So many investors think about this security market. Also, volatility is often associated with big swing and either direction, up and down, something like that. So the stock market rise and fall more than 1% over a sustained period of time. It means is some times very volatility. Some period T0 to T1, and at the period, during the period, the stock price very fluctuation, moving that is very high volatility. We say that. So some people to invest volatility, using the volatility means it's very high risk. So volatility assets are often considered riskier than less volatile asset because the price is expected to be less predictable. It means if you take the high risk, high return. If you take the low risk and the low return. It is the capitalism theory. So volatility is an important variable for calculating option pricing. Later we have a chance to some stock market, and especially the representative stock market is option price. Okay, later, 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, I will buy the crude oil stocks. Something definitely fixed price, very high risk return rate is volatility. So why we say these utility sections in volatility? Now we are reviewing the utility sectors. Utility sector is very low volatility because this is for delay the government policy. So for the huge company. So volatility utility sectors is a little bit safety investment method. And the volatility. So what's the utility sectors? We review the market capitalization and division, the volatility, and next is concept economic growth. I'll show you that. Economic growth. Economic growth is an increase in the production of economic goods and services compared from one period of time to another. From T1 to T1 period, and then how much increase in the production of economic goods and services. This is economic growth. So economic growth is an increase in the production of economic goods and services in one period of time compared with the previous time. So it means T minus. So this time period compare this period. So compare to T minus 1 to T0 period. And T0 to T1. 2 time period, how much the production produced a good and services amount. This is economic growth. So mostly you have that economic growth measured in terms of the GNP, gross national product, or gross domestic products, GDP. Although alternative metrics are sometimes used that. GDP, GNPs, economic growth, some designated period compared. Okay, this is economic growth. Economic growth is also very important concept of the utility sectors. hello? 여보세요?
네, 사장님 안녕하세요. CDS 카드 회사에서 전화드리거든요.
제가 지금 수업 중인데 이따가 전화 드리면 안 될까요?
렉토에 오늘 1시 반에 가기로 했는데 좀 일찍 가도 혹시 괜찮아요?
1시.
1시요? 그 전에는 조금 안 계시나요?
뭐 12시 반도 괜찮아요.
네, 알겠습니다.
12시 올래요? 12시에 반?
네, 가능합니다.
예, 그래 12시고요.
네,
예.
감사합니다.
So in delayed economic growth, the key word is economic growth is an increased production of goods and services in an economy. This is economic growth, for example, GDP and GNP. Increases in capital goods, labor force, technology, the developed technology, and human capital can all contribute to economic growth. So economic growth contributed by the capital goods, labor forces, technology, and human capital, etc. Also, economic growth is commonly measured in terms of the increase in aggregate market value of additional goods and services produced, using estimates such as GDP or GNP something. So the economic growth, say we have 4 peak periods. So I'll show you the pictures. 4 pictures means is expansion, peak, contraction, and something like a GDP is this time and this time. So the peak, lowest point, increase, decrease, this time. This is cyclone theory. So if we some narrative, the economic theory, we don't need to approve the cycle theory because every economics is follow the cycle theory. Point is that how long and how to height and depth. Only 2 things. So every economic growth point, time term, and depth. For example, sometimes very narrow and very big, something like that. Sometimes some period very wide, and the top is very low. This style. And very deep and something like that. Lots of shape there. Point is how long? Take time. And top to bottom line length. Only 2 things. If we mentioned economic growth related to 2 things, to depth and width. This is economic growth theory narrative. So utility requires a significant amount of expensive infrastructure and consequently carry large amount of debt on their balance sheet. So in the small company also shows that the balance sheet, and then we can evaluate the company financial status. But the utility section requires a significant amount of very expensive infrastructure. As you know, the infrastructure. Infrastructure means is physical structures such as road and power lines, schools, the harbor, airlines. That is facilitate commerce, transportation, and the quality of life in a given religions. So infrastructure is need lots of I'm sorry. More expensive construction expenses. So that's why the government very seriously invests for infrastructure. At this time, the investors have some chance to earn money by utility sector's stocks. Also, these debt loads make utility hypersensitive to change in a market interest rate. Debt load, what's the meaning of debt load? Debt load is the total amount of debt, which means it's the debt load carried by the individual, government, and or business. So if you have some your own business, you need to debt from the bank or a financial institute. So at the time, we think about the debt load. Debt load. So even it's individual or family or government, the company have some debts. So the debt load is a total amount of debt derived from the individual, government, or the company. So publicly traded companies record their debt load on their balance sheet. Most finance statement shows to the debt balancing. Even though this is utility section is a very huge company, they shows to the balance sheet and they shows to some recording. So the balance sheet is provide the investors with some chance to their own or owe every quarter. It means is they are how many debts and they have how many or how much they owns or something like that. It shows on the balance sheet. Also, the debt load, a very sensible debt load depends on the size of the company and its industry. For example, the gas company is very stable company. Electronic company is very stable. So this company is very sensible debt load. Also, the various metrics can be used to determine if the level of debts a company's books with a healthy rate. It means is that the debt load is pros and cons. If I have some restaurant my own, I have own restaurant, and then we have some no debts, it's okay. But some company we think about that. Last time I showed you that the flow of the money in the markets. So any company needs or using the debt. It means something like that. Me and the bank, the company. I give you company to work, and then company give to me salary, labor, and I give you to save money. bank give to the interest. Also, company invest money from the bank. No. And the company gives to some interest to the bank. So, bank earn the money from the gap of two interests. I received the same money from individual, and then I invest or loan to company, and the company produce the goods and services. This is circulation of the product. That's why if you have some company, you have to get the money from bank. This is very natural, circulated, also very helpful capital movement. It's very healthy circulating capitalism. So any sector's problem and the fluctuation of some problem, economic problem. So that law is very seriously think about control the financial statement. This is for debt load. And also I talked the interest rate related related sectors. Interest rate. The interest rate means is the amount of lender charges a borrower and is the percentage of the principals, the amount loan. This is for interest rate. So if you mention the interest rate, we talk about the APR, annual percentage rate. You write this area, this area. Who control the interest rate? FRB in the United States. So nowadays, in the United States report related the economics is a little bit good inflation. So they want to decrease the APR or not, but nowadays the FRB chairman is, we don't need that, that's it. And then the move to the market interest rate, very serious things. So if you want to buy your home right now, they think about this interest rate, annual percentage rate. So this interest rate made by or ordered by the government. The government representative, the organization is FRB. So FRB chair is the something we say the president of financial president. So they decide the interest rate, and then the bank decides the two interest rate. In the gap, it's a bank only. So interest rate is think about any time we see expressed as an annual percentage rate. It's very important. Also, so you heard that the annual percentage rate from the FRB is the index is 0.25%. So 0.25 step is very normal step, and sometimes 0.5 step is a big step, and 75% is can I say that? I forgot that. Okay, normal step, big step. I'm sorry, I forgot that. So anyway, the APR is every index 0.25 small step, big step. Oops. I forgot that. Next time I talk that. So the FRB chairman decided that okay, this time we increase more to 0.5, 0.25, and more 0.5, 0.75. They decided, and then the bankers and the house interest rate and the loan interest rate and then almost some auto loan percentage is followed. Nowadays we have some big president election in November, so the governments don't want to increase the API. Because we increase that, it's affected the house market, house price, and also the loan price, something. It's affected everything. So interest rate is the microeconomics hot issues area is interest rate. Anyway, think about this API, okay, annual percentage rate is interest rate. Interest rate is also important sectors of the utility sectors. Also, they say this bankruptcy is related to the utility sectors. Bankruptcy is a legal proceeding initiated when a person or business cannot repay outstanding debt or obligation. This is bankruptcy. Chapter 11, Chapter 7, or something like that, you have there. So it offers fresh start for people who can no longer afford to pay their bills. It means is I applies the bankruptcy to the court, and then court decides Chapter 11 or Chapter 7, it's a little bit different. And then I want to start new my business and new my credit score or something. It means is I want to make the fresh start my credit or my company credit. This is bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a little bit chance to renew. So bankruptcy is a legal proceeding carry out the free individual or businesses from their debts. So if you have some debts from bank, don't worry about that. And I know that if you bankruptcy Chapter 11 or Chapter 13 or Chapter 7, it is at least 5 to 7 years later, it's very released your credit. Anyway, you guys wants to live in the United States and think about the debt. But so if you don't have the debt, it's okay. But if you have your own business, you have debt related with your business, and then you can operate your own business and get money from the bank, and then it's easy to operate your business thing. Okay, next move to bankruptcy, and finally I'll give you some utility sectors have some pros and cons. I'll show you the pictures. What is the pros? The merit is very stable because it's the gas company or railroad company is very stable to invest that. So very stable, and also long-term investments and regular dividends because they don't want to enlarge your new products, new infrastructure or something like that. So very stable, and long-term investment is very good portfolio your utility sectors. Also the safe investment during time of economic downturn. Okay, so if you now we have some very slow down economic status, but at this even if this slow down term, but the utility sector is a very safe investment. Also the various investment options including bonds, ETFs, and the individual company stocks. What's the meaning EPTS? ETF means exchange traded funds. It is a type of pooled investment security that holds multiple underlying assets rather than only one. It means it's combined. Okay, I give you some insurance for my car, and my insurance, life insurance, and my home, and I pay that the insurance each year. It's not good idea. So EPT means is totally combined, and then I pay that the insurance, and then a little bit decrease or save the money. Then this is EPT. So the EPT, we think about the EPT also. Utility sector is a very good chance for your save money. At the other hand, the cons of the utility sectors, so intense regulatory oversight, very intense. Also expensive infrastructure that requires continual upgrade and maintenance, because it's, as you know, the railroad or harbors, airports, is very expensive. So become less attractive when interest rates are high and the bond yields are high. So you think about the portfolio, because it's, you need portfolio. So I invest the bonds, the stocks, and gold, and some house. So lots of investments method in here, but you are working in the corporation and only receive the salary only. But it is very narrow your invest idea. At this time, you have to have a portfolio your futures. So even if there is small money, you have to invest these things. If you're saving money, and I bought a house, but it's very huge money to down pay, but at least $200,000, $300,000. So gold is okay in my area. So you bought it some $10,000 and you buy the gold, or stocks, or bonds. So at this ratio, your investment plan is, we say, the portfolio. But the bond is very safe area. That's why this very representative, the bonds investment plan is utility sectors, but very low interest rate on it. And stock is very high risk. Say, as I say there, high risk, high return. And gold is a little bit stable. House is very good area, but it's very need for huge money thing. So I say the house, so old, stock, bonds, you need to invest your extra income there, even if you have some your stable job, salary-based job. Okay, so the also the we say the cons of the utility sectors is interest rate is very less than. This is for utility sectors. Okay, let's move to next. Totally, I say the bottom line of related utility sectors. Utility can be used to measure the usefulness of goods and services to consumers. There are limitations and more values and differences appear in the market. Various types of economic utility continue to be examined. Not only can it help companies with the structuring their tiered pricing, but also it can help consumers learn how to boost the utility of their purchase. It means totally, I say, if you want to get the money, get the extra income from the utility sectors. Think about it. I show you several things: market capitalism, divisions, how they make the divisions, how many times, also the volatility and the economic growth, the APR interest rate, infrastructure and debt load, interest rate, bankruptcy. These things is delay the invest for utility sectors. Okay. Finally, I recommend to you guys, even if you are spending steady job in salary base, you have to using the portfolio and think about the utility sectors and the extra money from investor. Okay. Okay. Come back in here for utility understanding. So there are four kind of utility. So utility is ordinal utility, cardinal utility, total utility, and marginal utility. There is four things. Utility. First, ordinal utility. What's the meaning? Ordinal utility refers to the concept of one good being more useful or desirable than another. Then compare them. The concept of one good being more useful or desirable than another. Compare that, and which is more useful or more desirable. This is ordinal utility. So ordinal utility is derived from the consumption of commodities cannot be measured. So we cannot measure that, the useful or desirable. At this time, we need some here, the order. I like this one first, and this is second like one, and third like one. At this time, we say the utility, ordinal utility. So it is only an expression of the consumer's preference. Oh, I like this one better than this. This is preference thing. But also the ordinal utility concepts permit us to say only that the consumer prefers an apple in an orange. It means that I like the apple better than orange, something like that. But it does not indicate by how much, no how much. Just I like better than this. Ordinal utility approach used in indifferences curves to analyze the consumer behavior. Very important concept is indifference curves. I showed that. Indifference curve there. Indifference curve means is a graphical representation of the various combination of two goods with which a consumer is equally satisfied. It's easy to concept this one. Okay. Indifference curve means is bundle A and bundle B provide the same level of utility, because this is hamburger, this is sandwich, and then I join that two products, two commodities. It's okay. And then point A and point B is same utility combined. This is indifference curve. Any indifference curve is right slope down the curve there. Another this one. Okay. Hamburgers is x. Y-axis shows the hot dogs. And then if I get some hamburger, utility is 20. But the hot dog is 14. But these two combined is satisfied A point. And hamburger 26 point B. And hot dog is 10 point. And I combine the 10 hot dogs over 26 hamburgers is to point P. This indifference curve join the different commodities, but at this point is same utility. This is ordinal utility. So how can we combine two different commodities combination? This is for indifference curve. So the definition is that a indifference curve is a chart showing various combination of two goods or commodities that consumers can choose. I choose the hamburger and sandwich, and then we calculate that. So hamburger 10 and hot dog hamburger 10, hamburger 20, and hot dog 14 is 8 point. And hamburger 14 1 and the hot dog 9 is same utility, same satisfied. And then they connected the point. This is indifference curve thing. So at any point of this curve, the combination of the two products will leave the consumer equally well off or equally satisfied. Hence indifferences. This is indifferent curve thing. So ordinal utility approach use the indifference curves, very useful understanding method to analyze consumer behavior. This is ordinal utility. Also, this concept of the ordinal utility was not quantified. Later, I'll show you that the qualitative and quantitative method. So, ordinal utility concept was not quantified, but the qualitative property of the economic goods. So later economists, particularly the Austin schools, let me show shows to the Austin schools, Austrian schools. So Austrian schools have very specified economic theory, developed the idea into ordinal theory of utility. That the idea is individuals could order or rank the usefulness of various discrete units of economic goods. So there are many famous researchers. Karl Menger is very representative of the Austrian schools. Karl Menger says is some makes the schools in the Vienna schools or more psychological schools. They have some creative, some theory of progressing. So the Austrian school is the branch of economic thought. The first originated in the Austria, but has their adherence around the world and no particular attachment to Austria. So it means it's a specified order and length useful economic goods. So this is for specified economic thought of the Austrian school thing. But it's unified ordinal utility. And the heuristics. Heuristics is also related the ordinal utility. Heuristics is a mental shortcut commonly used to simplify problems. Let me show you the definition pictures. Okay. The heuristic is the mental shortcut commonly used to simplify the problems and avoid cognitive overload. Heuristics are part of how the human brain evolved and is wired, allowing individuals to quickly reach reasonable conclusions or solutions to complex problems. Even if we meet the very flexible problems and very difficult to decision to problems, and heuristics means is at this time the humans or individuals quickly to reach the reasonable conclusion. So mental shortcut used to simplify problems and avoid cognitive overload, because this is a heuristic. Every human being, something like the mental choices. So mentally, most people decide to quickly reach the reasonable conclusion or solution to complex problems. This is heuristics. Heuristics is later related. The human being is decision making by rational reason, rational choice. This old one, for first time class, I say the choice, because it's limited resources. We have to choice. It means also the human beings follow the rational decision or not is the starting of the economic thought. But mostly we accept the heuristic means is we are mentally shortcut, used to simplify the problems, very simplified, because most people doesn't like the flexibility. This is heuristic thing. So heuristics is related the ordinal utility, because the ordinal utilities cannot measure them, so only order them. This is first, second, third. This is ordinal utility. Even if they are ordinal utility, we can measure them or compare them. Okay. So the heuristic is related the ordinal utility. Also, if we mention that the ordinal utility, we recognize the welfare economics, because these options is related by welfare or not. So that's why I will explain the welfare economics. The study of how the allocation of resources and goods affect social welfare. So social welfare system means is to provide assistance to individuals and families indeed. We have to pay the tax, and then government using the tax for social welfare. Now, in the United States, it's divided two things. So social welfare is very hot issues all over the world. Also in the Korea and the United States is also same. Welfare, we are simply say the welfare. If you work in United States, 40 points. You guys, if you have some work permit and then you need 40 points. It means the 4 quarters per year, correct? So January to March, on first quarter, second quarter, so every year we have 4 quarters times 10 years and 40 points. 40 points is the minimum requirement of social welfare in the United States. So at least you have to 10 years working here, and then you got the welfare. you can also, if you finish the 40 point, and then you can apply the social welfare 65 years old. If you compare, complete the 40 point and also 65 years old, and you can apply the social welfare to the government, and then you get the money from government, $10,000, $1,400, something like that. And mostly old guys applies the social welfare. It is also related for ordinary utility. So how to government is where operate the social welfare. This is hot issue for political problem. Now, Republican and Democratic is fighting for their policy. Republican wants to smallest one, the social welfare. But the Democratic Party wants to enlarge the social welfare. What's the reason? The reason is the point of the capitalism. Capitalism is very big problem in the economy. It means, as you know, this the rich get the richer, poor get the poor. So richer comes very rich. This capitalism problem. So the richers doesn't want to do social welfare. But most people below middle level, after that, 65 years old, and then they want to get the plan of the old guys. So Democratic parties pursue the increase the social welfare, but the Republican is diminish their social welfare. It is related to tax problem. That's the big point of the distinguish between Republican and Democratic. So social welfare is another very hot area in the economics anyway. So the ordinary utility approaches need to think about this welfare economics. What's the time? Okay. We need for understand the utility relay that the ordinal, cardinal, total, marginal. But it's time to almost done. So next time I will explain very briefly 4 kinds of utility. It's very related or very familiar in your life in the utility. So we delay this one for next week. Okay? Any question? Thanks for coming, and we see you next week. Okay. Thank you.